Can we start it again? Folks, this is the event where Jonathan goes back and gets his video camera and he turns it on as he runs back to the location where the being was last, after he'd hit it. What you're hearing, or what you just started to hear, was his breathing as he's running through the woods.
You see it?
Thank you. Lights, please. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you would like to try breathing as hard as he was during those moments? We tried it. I nearly passed out. There is no way that somebody could have done this without enduring and going through it. He was in a hyperventilated state. At this point, I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Jonathan Reed. Please welcome him.
Thank you. Could you see it?
Yes.
If you couldn't then, you can now. Excuse me.
Wow.
My name is Jonathan Reed. Tonight I'd like to offer you my version of show and tell. I'll show you what I saw, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. And at the end, we can talk about it. I'd like to, at this time, thank a couple of special people who have helped me to come here tonight and who have invited me to let you hear what's happened to me. Terry and Bob Brown have got me here safe and given me the opportunity to tell you what happened to me and let you judge for yourself. And that's all I've ever asked to do. You see it with your own eyes. You judge it for yourself. And you decide how it affects you. First, I'd like to ask you a question. How many of you in the audience have heard my story? Thank you. Those of you who haven't, I will try my best to recap some of the event in a moment. Oh, and before we start, I have one other question. How many of you are currently working or have worked for any member of our government or any other? Let's see a show of hands. Well, to some of you who aren't raising your hand, And I know of 3 of you that are here. I have one thing to say to you folks. And that is, I'm here in spite of your actions. In spite of trying to keeping me from talking about this. And I will tell my story, no matter what.
We're here to stay.
Tonight I'm here to talk about the event that happened prior to what you just saw on the video that happened some 3.5 years ago when I was with my dog, Susie, and I encountered a strange creature. The video that you've just seen was taken out of sheer desperation, exhaustion, and plain fear. At this time, and at that time, I was almost in a total state of emotional breakdown. I had been through what I now feel is the closest thing to hell possible, just short of death. I had taken my dog for a hike in the mountains of the Pacific Northwest in Washington State, some 60 miles east of Seattle and 15 miles northeast of Snoqualmie Pass. I had parked my car, and my dog and I walked into the woods approximately for an hour and a half. During this hour and a half, we walked by trees and streams and mountains that were very familiar. I'd done this many times. Nothing unusual. But all of a sudden, my dog decided to take off running after something. Again, not an unusual thing. The woods are full of raccoons and squirrels and deer. We'd seen one earlier in the day. But this time it was different. My dog took off like a bolt of lightning and was barking, and I lost her out of sight. She ran up ahead. I don't know how far. There were hills and a lot of brush. And the barking got more fierce, and I was sure that she was in some kind of conflict with either a bear or a cat. I wasn't sure. I threw my backpack down, and I grabbed a branch just in case I could throw it or defend her off of something, and I ran to the top